Okay. The first item is 30 Rockland Park Avenue, site plan, PB 1826. Is anybody here for that?
Yes, we're here for that.
Please come in, sign in, and state your name and your affiliation with the project, please.
My name is Brian Lee.
Your what? Are all these people going to speak?
Let's have everybody who's going to speak, please sign in. Okay, could you please explain your project to us? What are you going to do down there?
First of all, we want to introduce ourselves.
My name is Brian Lee. I'm a senior operations manager with Sumo One, parent company residing at this location.
My name is Brian Kim, the Director of Engineering and Technical Corporate Fungwon.
My name is Christina. I'm a general administrator.
Okay.
Production manager Changsan Hwang.
Of this the Tapan facility.
I'm Hu Jun Jung, and I'm an architect.
Jason, in charge of quality assurance. Quality assurance.
Yeah.
Quality assurance.
First of all, really appreciate to give us chance to explain current situation and hearing as well as the present our the plan.
I mean, I guess first off, it's on behalf of our company, it's just our apologies that the situation had to occur the way it did. Right now, it's
Hold on for a second. I'm sorry. This is what you have to fill us in.
Yeah,
Okay. This is
explain your
yeah.
project, what you're
No. Let's. They're here for because they got violated.
Yes, so.
Okay.
At ERC, Bruce Peters informed us, and it was actually documented in his letter, that there was a spill, and it went into the creek, and there is pictures included in your package,
Right.
which I can also put up. So they were given violations by the DEC. And someone from DEME had gone out there. The containers contain tofu products after the manufacture, waste and tofu products are manufactured. Obviously, when the applicant speaks, they can explain that to you. And what happens is that these containers are dumpsters. They're not meant to be hold liquid. So when it rains, the tofu byproduct, which is dry, gets wet, and then seeps out. These are not sealed. So Bruce Peters recommended putting a roof structure over it to protect it from the elements. There's also talk about maybe investigating some type of units that would hold the liquid that are specifically meant for the disposal of certain waste. So that would be up to the applicant how they want to address it. So, but they were in violation. And with this happening, they may actually be found in violation of the performance standards. We have to look further into that. They received performance standards approval back in 2001 from the ZBA, and the ZBA determined it would not have a significant impact on the environment because the proposed action does not significantly affect air quality, surface or groundwater quality, drainage, or, so obviously it did. They had the spill. So we have to look further into that. I have not received copies of their DEC violations yet. Originally, the applicant came in because they wanted to put these containers on level concrete pads. The level concrete pads are not going to solve the issue. And that was what, that is in, documented in the PRC comment. And you'll see the spill into the drainage.
So are they here for the concrete pads, or they're here for something else?
Well, they're here for the concrete pads, that is the application. When this was discussed at PRC, it was explained that they would not be able to obtain approval this evening, but the applicant still wanted to come and appear before the board.
Because usually if they're under violation,
They have to come here with a
we
solution.
make them come back once the violation is corrected.
Right, again, we were told by Bruce Peters last Wednesday that there was a violation from the DEC.
Can we just, it's still here.
I think probably the best thing to do is if they ask for a continuation, they get an architect to come and design exactly what they want to do to correct the violation.
They're also, at minimum, they're gonna need a site engineer.
Right.
Yes.
Because the roof structure is one option as a possible solution. But the roof structure then opens up other approval requirements. So it might be best to start with a site engineer and an engineer and see if there's maybe a way they could contain this, much like oil is dispersed of, right? It's
Yeah,
contained and
so
then
it'd have to be
off-site.
some sort of water separators or
Right.
something.
Again, it's not the town's position to
Tell them.
recommend
Yes.
how to address it.
They have to tell us what they want to do.
So an engineer, and then, yes, if they decide that adding to the building to accommodate meeting the requirements of the DEC and the performance standards, then an architect would most likely be required as well. Either way, they need site plan updates. Bruce Peters provided a list of comments that he's going to require for review.
Do you have all the consultant's comments pertaining to this? Do you have a copy of them?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes, it's this one over here. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so
Actually, we received this detail of direction and order from the Orangetown 7/18 about a week ago. So as soon as we received this information from Orangetown, we hired the licensed architect of New York State, as well as we composed some special corporate-wide task force team out of New York facilities from Boston, from Los Angeles, and from outside contract as well. So we really consider this is our one of the serious company-wide some task and issue as well. So we will do our best to solve this issue as quickly as possible if we can. So this time, just to give you an address, we composed this team and we hired the licensed architect for initiating these directions. But we need to have some little more time to detail study for this formal letter from the Orangetown. We will follow and find the best way to comply all the environmental and building requirement, permit, and processing as well.
What I think the board is going to be looking for is for you to get an architect and a site engineer and to figure out which way you want to go. We're not going to tell you what to do. For you to figure out what is the best way to handle this violation. And for you to go ahead, and then once you have all that information, come back to us. And then at that point, we can give you a little bit better direction with respect to that. So I think the best thing for you to do is to ask for a continuation. Okay?
Definitely, sir.
And this way you can get all your
Yeah.
work done, all your plans done, whatever else you
Yeah.
need, and then come back into town, and then, which you don't, right
Yes.
back on the plan.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes,
Is the
sir.
operation still ongoing?
Yes, the operation is still ongoing.
But you're taking some safeguards to prevent?
Yeah,
this-
actually, we can present current status of that area. Actually, we completed some urgent action for eliminating these issues. Currently, everything is under control. Anytime somebody can see there, they can see the controlled situations.
I agree with you,
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman. I mean,
Okay? That's what you want to do.
Yes,
Yes,
please.
correct.
It's just a
Yes, correct.
suggestion.
Yes.
You have to ask for it. You have to ask for it.
Oh, can we get a continuation?
Yeah, continuation. Yes,
Yes.
continuation.
And then once you get everything done that you need, all your architectural work, your site plan
Yeah.
work, and everything else, come back to the town, and then we can proceed with it.
Definitely.
Okay?
Definitely.
I mean, our main goal for coming tonight is,
Yeah.
well, obviously formality continuation, but really just to show that from a corporate level, this is taking a precedence and a priority, and we want to work with the town, be compliant, and work as quickly and diligently as possible to get this issue resolved. So,
And you have all our consultants' reports, so you know what our consultants are looking for, and you just have to incorporate that into your design.
yes.
Yes.
Okay? David, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Chairman,
Yes, I'm sorry.
some of us might have some additional comments,
Okay.
or, yes, you will. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. From what I'm looking at here, right now, you're pumping this material into the dumpsters, is that what it is? Because I see a very large hose that you could see there.
That hose is for delivery. The name of Okara is the processing byproduct.
I understand,
from the,
but are you placing your waste material into that dumpster by that hose?
Currently, stop. Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, these are not dumpsters that are designed for that. Everyone is going to have their own opinion, but I personally would have a great deal of trouble with this if it wasn't a completely contained, leak-proof container and also something that would keep the odors down. I know we're talking about this, and other people have mentioned things, but I just wanted to say that for the record. And then when you get to the actual storm drains, there may be the addition of oil separators, etc. That would depend. But my biggest question is, when will we see you next? Is it going to be like in a half a year, a month, 2 months? Is there any idea?
So maybe architect can give us just to estimate some.
Rough estimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to speak up, sorry.
I can't hear you, sir.
Within a month or 2 months, we will coordinate with our site engineer and prepare the drawings and come up to the board.
All right, so you're saying a matter of just a few months? Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
If we were to put some kind of time frame on this, will they have to come back in 2 months? Can we do that? Because they're saying now they can do 1 to 2 months.
No, that's not what they said.
Oh, no, not completion.
Yeah.
It was, it's merely come up with a preliminary drawing or.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean, come back to us, not to correct the problem,
Yeah.
come back with a set of plans to see what we're doing.
Why not let the buildings department and
2 months.
Bruce work that out, and then they come back to us, because we're not really, because then we're offering them advice, and we're not supposed to be doing, they're
Well,
supposed to
we're
be.
not offering advice, we're giving them a time frame where they can't run over. We really don't want this to go for 6 months, 8 months to a
Well,
year.
the other thing, Chairman, to consider is if this happens again, we get finding it by the DEC, and the fines continue to go up, and if they are not complying, they can actually send them to ZBA for violations of the performance standards. So there are routes that I can take that enforce
Okay,
the
so we-
compliance. I
okay.
don't know that, and the attorney can speak, I don't know if you can handle it on a resubmission.
Yeah, because to do so, the only way to do that is to say it's not
I'm only going by what they were saying, that they could do it within a month to 2 months. So I just didn't want it to drag out to 6 months or a year.
And that'll be in the minutes, and I think that's reasonable from a design professional standpoint.
Right. Okay. Anybody else have any? Mr. Bishop?
If you just look at the DEM, Bruce Peters' comments on there, gives you various suggestions as how to prevent it. I'm not telling you how, but in the meantime, you said you did some corrections. You gotta make sure no water gets into those containers, whatever way covering them over or whatever. It's a suggestion to you. You also have a third container on the property, which you don't show on your plans. Is that a permanent container that sits there, or is that a container that's gonna be moved?
Yeah, the third container also will be included the corrective action plan.
So you're gonna have 3 containers?
Yeah, we have 3 containers, 2
Okay.
for Okara, 1 for just the general waste.
Oh, okay, so you're gonna show all those on your,
Yeah, definitely. We will show those 3 container planning.
and this is a little bit, when you come back, you'll have more details, measurements and everything else, but, you know, it is near a creek, and that's all part of the problem, so, good luck, and, I think you should be able to settle it quite easily.
Anybody else on the board? Okay, so you kind of have enough direction, which way to go? Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No.
Continue.
Continue.
Okay, next item is Florida Campus Building B205, PB 18-27. Please come up, sign in, state your name for the record, please.
My name is Greg Stanton. I'm the general manager and authorized agent for Pearl River Campus LLC. Correct.
Thanks, dude. You want this back? There you go.
Is there anybody else that's interested in this project? Okay, thank you. Okay, could you please explain the project?
We are looking for an internal commercial subdivision for a single-tenant building, a multi-tenant building, which we call our zero house month as well, that we're all our landscaping in place for construction.
Do you have a copy of all the consultants' reports?
Doesn't matter, they don't have anything to say.
Okay.
They don't have anything to say.
Okay. Mr. Garvey, could you read the reports in?
The PRC has no additional comments. From Jane Slavin. Application is for internal subdivision of space in building B205 on the ground floor to create 1 space and balance the first floor to be mechanical space. Applicant is advised that a separate permit application be submitted to OBZPAE for any additional subdivision of the space. Full construction plans in compliance with the New York State Building Code rules and regulations are required to be submitted to the Buildings Department for review and approval prior to building permit being issued. No work is to commence until a building permit is issued. Stan? Bruce Peters, nothing. Rockland County Planning, nothing. Rockland County Highway, nothing. Correspondence from Highway, Health, not objecting to this, board serving as lead agency. That's it as far as comments are concerned.
Thank you, Mr. Garvey. Ms. Yoke, do you have anything?
No, no questions.
Okay. Mr. Dell?
Yes, just very briefly. This is obviously a campus-type situation, and as such, the only people really going to be influenced by anything happening here is basically your, I'm sorry, this is a campus-type situation, and as such, the only people who truly be influenced by this will be yourselves. As such, I have no problems with it whatsoever. Thank you.
Mr. Garvey, anything?
No.
Mr. Young?
Nothing to add, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Sweeney?
Nothing to add.
Mr. Mandel?
No comments, thank you.
Thank you.
Is this for final? This is for final, Chairman?
Yeah. Again, you can open up for your public? Any public? Anybody speaking on this? No?
Make a motion to close the public portion?
Second? Public
All in favor?
What is this in for?
All in favor?
Final.
This is for final, okay, so we're gonna do,
Make that.
that
Make a
first.
motion for lead agency.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Make a motion for neg deck.
Motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And make a motion for final with conditions.
Conditions. You wanna read them back in?
Jane's 3 conditions. That's it. All, yeah, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Good. Okay, next is Green Village Fence Site Plan, PB 18-28. Please come up, sign in, and state your name for the record, please.
Dave Fighter, Anthony Bispo, he is employee, I have, he is employed.
Is there anybody in the audience that is interested in this project? No? Okay. Okay, please tell us what your project is and
Sure. If you recall, we came through in January for, I guess, preliminary. Since then, we've gone through zoning and Akabor, and now we're returning back for final, hopefully. But basically, we're building a structure at our, actually, next to the gentleman that just left. So this is the north-west corner. In fact, the building you guys were just discussing is directly west off the page here. It's a security structure for our employees to gain access or exit our village community area as IRG brings new tenants in. And we just wanted to
So you two are not affiliated together?
we share the campus.
Right.
It was all Pfizer at one point.
Okay.
And then Pfizer subdivided.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else?
Unless there's any questions? No.
Okay. Do you have a copy of the consultant's reports?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Mr. Garvey, anything else?
There's nothing
I
again.
know. Okay.
So PRC, no additional comments. Jane Slavin has no comments. Bruce Peters has 2 comments. Have you seen his?
Yes.
No problems, right? It
No.
doesn't matter, you have to work it out with him.
Yes.
And that's it. There's no other comments.
Okay, thank you. Did you, anything?
Nothing.
Okay, Mr. Dow.
Yes, just to reiterate my previous comment, this is a campus-type setting, and as such, I have no problems with it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Murray, anything additional?
No.
Mr. Young?
Mrs. Slavin, the issue with the ZBA and the rear setback, that's all been resolved?
It has been resolved, they clarified it. When the subdivision went through, we now have this section which faces a street, and so it becomes a front yard.
Okay. That's-
On the approved plan, it said rear yard.
Always a workaround.
There had to be a clarification, and they, the ZBA needed a rear yard setback.
I'm good.
Mr. Sweeney? No comments. Mr. Mendel?
There was a couple of questions from last time by the fire inspector, Mr. Freeman. Was that corrected? I see you on the, as far as the entranceway for the thing, it's, you had so many feet, they asked for 17 feet, was that
Yeah,
just?
that's all been resolved. In fact, I thought you'd see his letter, but
Yeah, no,
we've met with him a few times since then, and all that's been resolved.
okay, it would be nice to get a letter from him to have in the file here. If we can get that, it's, all right. That was the only,
In fact, yeah, we saw him a week ago today, and he had no comments about
yeah,
it.
usually he sends a letter, you know, that everything's been,
But again, we've met on the site, and he expressed it.
right, yeah, okay. All right, that's all I have this time, thank you.
Thank you. This is in for final?
Yeah, I make a motion for final
Okay. Second. Okay, all in favor?
with conditions.
With conditions. With conditions. That's you, Mr.
Mr. Bruce Peters, conditions, 2 or 3? 2. 2, sorry. New glasses. Make a motion to reaffirm secra.
Second? Second. Mr. Mendel, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Reaffirmed.
How long ago were you here? Oh, nah, that's not that long.
Good luck, guys.
Did we vote?
Oh, I thought we did.
All in favor?
Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Old habits. All right, there you go. Oh, here, now we got the big one. Very Orangetown Commerce. I'm not. Trying not to. I just said, did you hear me say old habits die hard? Yep. It doesn't matter. You only got 4
Next one is Orangetown Commerce Center site plan and Turtle, PB 1829 and 1830. I guess we're going this together.
Yes, we always do.
Yep. And we do everything. Please sign in and state your name for the record, please.
Is that microphone on? Is the green light on? Okay, well, you're gonna have to speak louder.
Can you hear me? It sounds just like I'm regularly talking.
No, we can.
I can't hardly hear him, but what difference does it make? Nope.
Nope.
There we go. Okay, let's try that again. Noel Wolfson, there we go.
Lawyer.
Hockerman, Tortorella, and Weckstein were counsel for the applicant. And this is an application for amended site plan and commercial subdivision approval for a property at 5 Greenbush Road. 2016, we were here and received approval for a 68,400 square foot flex warehouse building. The application this evening is to add a second floor to a portion of the building to add additional square footage for a self-storage component to the warehouse use. Pretty much everything else on the site is the same. The points of access are the same, the drive aisle is the same, the signage is the same, lighting and landscaping, drainage, and utilities are essentially the same. The parking has been adjusted to provide parking for the proposed use and to provide some additional loading spaces. But the main change is to the building. The footprint of the building was reduced slightly to pull the building back a little bit further from Greenbush Road. The building was, the height of the building in the portion where the self-storage is proposed was raised about 2 inches, so pulling it back from 2 feet, excuse me, 2 feet. So pulling it back from Greenbush Road made it conforming, since the height is related to the setback. And that's essentially a summary of the application.
Okay. So I'm going to read the comments for both applications, and they'll be voted on separately, but some of these tend to overlap.
We will have a few requests for overrides from county planning, just to...
Say that again?
We do have a couple of requests for overrides from county planning, just to let you know that up front.
Okay. Jane Slavin, 5. Bruce Peters, 4. So, does your July 25th letter supersede your July 23rd letter? Letter? Okay.
No, that.
I just asked a question, and there's a letter here from July 25th from you. Does it supersede the letter from July 23rd? Okay, so that's gone. Take this. You can take that out. Bruce Peters has no comments. Brooker Engineering. The application provides sufficient information to demonstrate that potential significant adverse impacts with respect to drainage can be mitigated. We therefore recommend that the Orangetown Commerce Center site plan be approved for drainage, subject to no conditions. Rockland County Sewer, nothing. Rockland County Planning. What are the ones that you have issues with?
So the ones that we wanted to discuss were number 5.
Number 5.
Yep.
The
must be
proposed monument sign must conform to the town sign standards.
In 2016, we received sign variances, so we'd ask for an override to the extent that we comply with those variances, or that just be interpreted that the variance is compliance with that provision.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So it doesn't have to be overridden because it's already being taken care of?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So what's the next one?
The next one is that the lighting plan,
Okay,
number 6.
The lighting plan must demonstrate that the intensity of the candle lumens is less than 0.1%, is less than 0.1 at the property line?
Right. So in some locations, it does exceed that level, although it's essentially the same as previously approved. And a lot of this spill is in the rear portion of the property, and the grade changes pretty quickly there. So the light spill just sort of into the berm and doesn't reach up to the train track. By the time you get to near the train tracks, it's at 0.
We're concerned with the property line, not necessarily the train tracks.
Right, but behind our property, the land goes up and the train is adjacent to our property, and because of the way the grade changes, the light sort of bounces the light back. So it's not spilling flat onto the property, if I'm explaining that right.
Okay, is anything else in the county?
Also at number 7,
With regard to the internal subdivision, when the actual flex space square footage is determined for the individual internal lots, the associated required parking spaces must also be assessed and identified to go with each unit.
so this is not a conventional subdivision where we're creating new lots in separate legal ownership. This is one site with one owner intended to function as one use. So dividing the parking that way would be awkward.
The use doesn't change the parking requirement. They come in for different lots,
Is there anything else? I'm sorry. Is there anything else?
That's it.
Sorry, Jim. Okay, from Rockland County Highway, they have 2 comments.
Yeah,
No,
no.
go ahead, but we're not overriding them.
Right, well, we have John Collins from Mazer Engineering, our traffic consultant, who can address them this evening.
You have to work it out with the highway department, so.
I want to make sure this is on. I don't know whether it... I'm going to talk loud.
There you go.
It makes it easier. We already addressed all those issues, especially with respect to the next application, the 18,000 square feet. I think the second issue deals with the study of the railroad crossing, which has been studied on infinitum. In fact, we have previously issued a report back to the town evaluating what happens if it remained 2-way or made 1-way. And it's really up to the town to make it, so we have no axe to grind.
But we don't override. We don't override highways, so whatever they're asking for, you have to work out with them.
We will submit the previous information to them, and
And if they're happy with it, they're happy with it.
they will be.
Okay.
Rockland County Health, no. Rockland County Drainage has 4. Then correspondence from Rockland County Health and Highway not objecting to us serving as lead agency. Cheryl, that's all I have. Sewer? Oh, Rockland County Sewer has nothing.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, how many DEME, how many conditions did they have?
I have 2 letters from Bruce,
Yeah.
4 on the first one
Okay,
and
for
one,
each site.
and
No.
one nothing.
Okay.
That's all I have, Cheryl.
There's just one other thing about the Rockland
Hold on,
County.
please. Cheryl, that's all I have.
The Rockland County Drainage Agency doesn't have jurisdiction over the site. It reflects that in the letter. So in our original approval, the letter they submitted was actually the letter from 2016. And the way we addressed it in the first round of approvals was to have Brooker Engineering sort of approve all of the drainage and taking into account their comments. So that's how we'd like to address it this time around as well. It's the same letter from 2016, and that's how we addressed it in 2016.
That's fine. We don't override them, so whatever.
We
Okay.
have to work it out with them. Okay. Ms. White, anything?
Yeah, with the light storage, what is the site, why can't you meet the condition of the 1.1 foot candle at the property line?
Sure. The proximity to the back, this is, the lighting is more or less as approved in 2016. With the
Hold on,
proximity.
hold on. What, okay. Are you gonna clarify that because you just said more or
Well,
less?
there's an additional light fixture added in the rear of the building that takes care of some darkness in one of the areas. It's not necessary. If it's the planning commission's desire, we can remove it. Even if we remove it, going back to exactly what was presented in 2016, there's still spillage at the property line. Because we're lighting the rear of the building with building mounted fixtures which project out from the edge of the property, and the way we model it, when we model the lighting, we model it as a flat surface. But if we think about the rear of that property, the rear of the property goes up very quickly in a bank, and the lighting comes down in a pyramid shape from the fixture. So as it goes up, the light will strike at a lower angle, so that the berm that's there will mitigate the spillage of the light, but our model is unable to accommodate the fact that there's a slope back there. In addition to that, our landscape buffer plant, which is very dense, planted along the rear of the property, will also limit the amount of light spillage that's there. So, what we show on the plans is what the model can accommodate, which does exceed the 1 foot candle or the 0.1 foot candle at the property line. But it's a function of the capabilities of the model.
What is it? Mr. Dub?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I feel that obviously there's quite a bit of development going on in a very tight space, and I know you've done your best to work with us. However, at the meeting that this was voted on, I was not able to attend due to health reasons. So I think it's only fair at this time that I abstain from any of these votes. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Dub. Mr. Garber, do you have anything else?
Not yet.
Mr. Young?
Initially, I was concerned about the doubling of the square footage, but understanding that it was going to be in a warehouse, I guess, 2 years ago. Are we going to stop tinkering with this project, or get something done here? The site has been bounced around for quite some time. That's all I had, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Mr. Sweeney?
It's good, in the beginning you mentioned that here for an amendment because it added on a higher level of storage. Can you explain that a little bit more, the amendment piece of it?
Sure. So in 2016, we had the one-story, 68,000 square foot flex storage building approved. Pretty much the site layout is the same, and so we're changing the approved plan only to include that second story on a portion of the building, and then to change some of the site aspects like parking and loading to accommodate that additional space. So it's an amendment to the original plan because the original plan is essentially the same with this one modification.
And is there a reason for the modification?
to add the self-storage use to the warehouse.
That wasn't one of the original uses.
It was not proposed as an original use. And I know there's a comment in here about whether or not it's a permitted use on this site. And, we respectfully submit that it is. I mean, self-storage was approved with a residence in the LI district in the Hillside application. There's an interpretation from the Zoning Board of Appeals that it's a principal permitted use. So, based on that, it's our understanding that it is a principal permitted use here.
You speak a little louder so I can hear you.
I am the legal advisor to the board. Our opinion that this CBA decision was based on a case-by-case scenario, that it is not CBA, always on board.
But this was an interpretation, not a use variance, and so it was an interpretation of the use listed in the code.
ZBA for an interpretation?
Yes. It says, the resolution reads, that the application is an interpretation for use of the existing building as an office and storage unit business and a residence for a security guard for the business. Well, it says an interpretation from the Zoning Board of Appeals for the proposed self-storage use.
Can you speak into the mic, please?
Sure. It says an interpretation from the Zoning Board of Appeals for the proposed self-storage use. An interpretation for the use of the existing building as an office for the storage unit and business and a residence for the security guard for the business. And then later in the minutes, it talks about storage is a permitted use in this district. The code is silent on whether self-storage is a part of that warehouse use, and then it was the determination of the board that it is in fact a part of that use. And it says an interpretation regarding storage warehouse facilities and residential unit for security is approved. An interpretation regarding that.
But my legal interpretation is that it's up to the building inspector to interpret that. Is that going forward for all time? A definition, or is that just like that application? And the building inspector will make a determination, that's a case-by-case determination. She's determining that this has to go to the CBA.
And I'll explain how the interpretations were asked for by the previous director on kind of Orangetown letter and on directed to the CBA. When the previous director wanted the interpretation, he specifically asked for it. He did not require the applicant to ask for it. In this specific instance, Hillside required the applicant to ask for it, which, in my determination, made me feel that he was in disagreement with the applicant. The applicant refused to listen to him, so he said, then go to the ZBA. And it's actually his locations, and the applicant must obtain an interpretation from the ZBA. So I did not feel that that was intended to ride with the LI zoning permit. We have that determination that were made by the ZBA that the building department was to interpret things in a certain way on other instances that were specifically requested by the previous board. That's not the case.
But the zoning board made the interpretation, and it is bound by this interpretation. This is precedent on the zoning board.
And I also have the authority to not agree and send it to the ZBA. So either way,
They're going.
we can agree or disagree.
That's true.
That's exactly right, either way. She's made the determination, you can appeal for the determination to the ZBA, which is what we're at.
What I think we're gonna suggest is that you ask for continuation.
Oh, wait. No,
We
no.
would like to
Hold on.
proceed with the
Mr. Rossi,
approval.
you'll get your chance, but if you don't mind sitting down right now, thank
This
you.
has gotta be resolved legally.
Yeah, that's cool, but don't we, I mean, there's,
Yeah, we'd like it to be a condition.
I thought they already had it.
No.
Yeah, they had final directions.
Right,
They
right.
plans that were approved. They signed off. You're amending, you're asking for amendments that are approved. Not only will they make the site plan change, minor site plan changes percent, and it's money by the applicant, we're also changing requested uses. Self-storage and the residential use is not permitted in this zone in our
Although it is also in the LO district, there is a self-storage use, and I don't know the specifics of that one. There's also a self-storage facility in the LO district. And we'll accept that we would like it to be a condition of the preliminary approval.
We'll get there, maybe. Go ahead.
I think my question's been answered. There are a few questions. It's brownfield site, I know that. But the existing monitoring wells, they're going to be removed or not removed? It's never really been answered. It's still a question by Rockland County Planning. What's the status of the wells?
Mr. Rossi, you have to come in and sign in on the table, and then you can speak right here. You don't have to go up to the podium. Okay.
We have an approved remedial action work plan by New York State DEC, and the monitoring wells are part of that program. The site is a brownfield site. We need to remediate the site, and that's all part of what we need to do, and the monitoring wells are all part of that program that has been approved by New York State DEC.
Okay, so you submitted the site remediation plan to New York State DEC. It was approved.
We have approval, and that has not changed, and that thing was previously submitted to the planning board and to, I believe, the town board, certainly to the planning board, our prior approval. So that should be on file, and you should have that plan.
So basically,
That was note 4 on the page 3 of the final site plan approval. It said conditions note that the site remediation plan will be submitted once approved. So you did follow that, you complied with that. Okay. that's what
We
I'm
have,
asking.
well,
That's what
we
I'm
have,
asking.
it's moot, because you already did it, it's in here, so it doesn't matter. You
we
did
have
it.
a signed site plan that complied with all of the previous resolutions by this board.
Well, that was my question I asked, because that was
Yes,
conditioned.
it's done.
So it's been completed, okay. And now I'm looking at the plans, last time it was just, it was only gonna be the one sidewalk on the north side of the development. There was nothing gonna be along Greenbush. Now, looking at the plan, it looks like, is that a sidewalk going along Greenbush now? It looks very similar to the walking the sidewalk on the,
If I may comment, sir, the previous board, we agreed that there'd be no sidewalks.
why not? I was
Yeah.
gonna push that.
And
Yes.
there's none proposed, and we agreed at the previous meeting that we would install the sidewalks on the recently paved Highview Avenue.
Right, that was, I remember that,
Yep.
because I asked for that.
Yes.
Now, but I'm looking at the plan, and where you have the sidewalk on the, what is that, Mountain View side? I'm sorry, the, Highview side. You have it on the Highview side, this little note that says sidewalk. But I'm looking at the Greenbush side, it seems like the same track is all the way along there.
Well, here's the engineer, it should be. There are no sidewalks proposed, just
Oh, we can clarify that on the plan. Yeah, we can clarify that on the plan, that it's just proposed along Highview.
Okay, so if you remove them off, it looks like a sidewalk along Greenbush then. Sort of on the page, so. I can't see the screen from here. Yeah, looking on page, so drawing number 2. You got on the Highview side, you got an arrow that says proposed sidewalk. You got a double line going along. Correct? Yeah, I know, but it's gonna be approved, it's part part of the plan.
No,
Is that correct, Mr. Barstow, is part of the original?
yeah, Highview is gonna be, Highview is gonna be replaced,
Okay,
yeah.
now look at the same lines going along Greenbush.
It's existing on south, on the east side.
Right.
Going on the east side, going on your side of the street there.
Can I make a suggestion that you go down there and show them what he's talking about?
You want to go up?
Yeah. Talking about this, we're looking like here, this is what we do as a sidewalk. Okay, now you guys, just don't line up here, what's that double line? Yeah, I know, what is that? I'm just trying to figure out what those lines are there. Goes all the way, it looks like a sidewalk, that's. I know it's not supposed to be one, but this market is not a sidewalk or something, otherwise it looks like you're just continuing right around. This is a minor correction, but, you know, we pushed it last time, to an absolute sidewalk there. We want somebody to come back this time and say it was walked and you had to put it there. Okay, was there any plans, and I think it was last time, you used the rainwater runoff from the roof or anything, is, we used for watering the, landscaping, in order to, reduce the water usage?
We're still part of our drainage system.
Okay.
System.
All right, thank you. That's all I have this time, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Now open up to the public, is there any public comment on the project? Hearing none, okay.
Make a motion to close the public portion?
Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None, okay, public session closed. So we might just do the preliminary, you gonna do separate or?
Yeah. Okay, so, for the site plan,
Which is, 18-20.
Jane Slavin has.
Okay.
Okay. So we need a
We make a motion for or, lead agency, I'm sorry. Motion for lead agency, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Just abstained on all
Mr.
of
Sweeney,
Mr. Dell abstains. Okay, neg deck,
make a motion for neg deck.
all in favor?
Aye. Make a motion
Mr.
for,
Dell abstains.
I make a motion for preliminary with conditions.
Okay, and the conditions are?
Jane Slavin's 5. Bruce Peters 4. Booker Engineering has none. Rockland County Sewer has none. Rockland County Planning. So basically, we're keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 in, because 5, they've already met the standards and have established that, as well as 7 has already met the standards. With regard to parking, we've already reviewed it and approved it, so there's no, okay?
Well,
So-
seven, they're asking for after the approval that it be divided. So we would just ask that you override that, because it's like a post-approval condition
Rich.
that they're asking.
I think it probably just makes sense to override it, just in case that issue is out there.
Make a motion to override, okay, then we'll go from, in order then.
Yeah.
Because
you have two items.
7, 6, and 7, so I make a motion to override number 6.
Second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye. And
Abstain.
the reason is that we feel that the lighting plan has been submitted as approved, and the Orangetown Planning Department is okay with it. What do you want to say?
Do the topography of the area.
Yeah, we believe that the plan, the actual submitted, what's the?
comment about landscaping.
No, it's the site model. The site model does not allow for the actual true readings based on the topography. So there's only, the planning board is satisfied with the lighting plan as submitted. Close enough, okay?
Yes.
All right, okay, Cheryl?
All right.
What was the other one?
Number 7. I'd make a motion to override number 7.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Abstain.
Mr. Mandel, second.
And the reason?
I
We
think the
don't like the
reason
planning
is
department
because
butting into our
it's a.
business. Oh.
Yeah, sure.
Give you credit, like you said. What is it? What's the applicant telling us why we're overriding this? Right. Actually, we determined that the applicant can speak at these. The public is not allowed to speak, but we are allowed to ask the applicant questions after we close the public portion of the hearing. Now, and I'll just recertify this for everybody because Rob told us this. If the public has additional input based on our back and forth, then they are allowed to request it to be opened again. They can request it, and we can say yes or no. However, that's the chairman's determination whether or not he wants to do that. But the applicant can speak.
I still think it's best practice not to have that.
I'm okay with that too.
But if I recall, what the applicant had testified to is that this is a single owner, so these requirements will not exist as a single owner.
Okay, so you'll work out the language with Cheryl?
Yeah, I think too, the original site approved 217 spots were required, 220 was supplied. According to the plans, it's 89 actual, 131 land banks. I think that was originally was going to something spots which they do meet with the plans.
Based upon those justifications.
The planning board is satisfied with the parking as is based on the submitted plans. Is that okay? Is that okay? Everybody?
Yep.
Except for you?
Could be okay with me.
I know, but I know you're not allowed to say anything.
I'm allowed to, but I
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm sorry, I know you don't want to say anything. Rockland County Highway there too. I'm getting there. Rockland County Drainage therefore. That's all I have for site, Cheryl. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Mr. Sweeney, seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None?
abstain. No. You abstain.
Okay. Now we're gonna do,
Okay, so now for site. I mean, sorry, it's subdivision.
I can go to final.
We should come back together,
She said it explicitly as part of the law.
but they can't, we want them to come back. Yes. So Bruce Peters. Okay, go ahead. Good job, Steve.
With conditions. Thank you, Mr. Sweeney.
Do we have to do neg deck? Okay, make a motion for lead agency.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Make a motion for neg deck.
Second.
Mr. Mandel, all in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
One abstention.
And now, so let me just get this straight. You don't have anything for subdivision, or are your 5 comments part of subdivision?
What's the other one?
All right, I didn't have that, sorry. Jay Slavin's 2. Bruce Peters has none. That's all I have for subdivision, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? Opposed? One abstention.
Okay, so that's What?
They gotta come back.
Yeah, they gotta go to ZBA and
Gotta go
come
to
back.
ZBA.
So you got preliminary.
You got
Okay,
preliminary.
thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we can proceed to Akabor as well.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Exterior changes to the building.
yeah, but that's, you can, yeah. Because you have preliminary, you can go to Akabor and ZBA, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that's,
Other business,
so the other business.
we got a lot of other business.
Who's here for other business? Well, he's the only one that's here for other business, so let's hear what his is.
Yeah, which one?
For Project Sycamore.
Oh, good, number one.
Number one.
Marie Delaney says hello.
Can we just say, can we make a
Roland
movement
Beal.
to, make a motion to say approved? I make a motion to approve the, I'm sorry.
He's kinda close, what do you want us to do?
No, 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 no.
V-I-E-H-L-E.
Yeah, yeah. I make a motion that we approve the relocation of the construction trailer.
Second.
All
All in favor?
Aye. Have a nice night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
I also think that in what we talked about, and I'm sorry to hold you up, but just going forward, we should talk to the town and the law department about these kind of things. If they want to relocate a trailer and the buildings department is okay with it, then, then have at it. If there's a problem, the thing is, if there's a problem with it. Okay, good, good. I'm just.
One of them takes 60 days to get changed.
Yeah, okay. Number two, Cheryl, what's up with the referral to Piermont?
What's that?
Number two, referral from Piermont?
You have the packages. Cute.
What the hell am I looking at?
You got your, what was that?
Cute house.
Rockland County Plan is just.
We're still working on Piermont.
Unless you wanna do those two.
What are we saying about Piermont? That it's okay? I don't even know what it is. I don't have it.
The county's saying no. The county's saying no. Your favorite group.
Did I say yes?
Regardless.
Okay, it's within 500 feet
Of,
of our border, okay? The town.
Okay.
Orangetown, they're a hamlet, right? So,
no, they're a village.
or a village, I'm sorry, they're within 500 feet, so it has to go referral. It's 400 feet, 450 feet.
Okay.
It's a very, very small house
Okay.
that they,
So what's the recommendation?
it seems minuscule to me, not adding much.
So then,
What did Piermont say?
so what do they want us to, what?
Rockland County Plan, he's disapproved.
Rockland County Planning is against it because the existing infrastructure is how they increase residential density on the side of Boston. It's a county-wide concern must be evaluated. However, if we read the remarks by the architect, who states it doesn't really increase the size of the building substantially. It's still going to be one bedroom, one half baths, but it does add drainage improvements, prevents storm runoff, it's off the creek, and it brings the house in compliance with FEMA floodproofing requirements.
She writes a great letter.
Yes.
So we are, the Orangetown Planning Board,
The plan even show you what's,
Yeah.
it's basically the staircase being added and a little bit towards the street, and as far as the creek. That's the issue. It's in the general area, development.
so
And
can
I
we,
think it might be one of the last houses left. that-
the Sears houses?
That's the original.
It might have been the Sears, I don't know, it's only 850 square feet.
Again, it's here for what? Recommendation or?
It's still one of the smallest houses on the block.
We have no comments, but we are in favor of the house. I make a motion that we say that we have no comments, but we are in favor of the house as designed and described by the architect. All in favor?
Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Opposed?
Can we, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
You want to add to that? We feel that way because of the small size of the house?
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's our justification.
Yeah, it's gonna be more in line with the other houses.
The
Right.
architect's letter says it all.
Yeah, and they have to conform to all.
Due to the scale of the project.
requirements, Rockland County permitted.
Okay, so next is the,
Town board referral proposed amendment to chapter, regarding internal commercial subdivisions.
Yeah, I'm in favor.
Yeah.
I know, I saw it.
So, and that's why I mentioned for this one,
Yeah,
it's not gonna matter, they can divide the space up, once it's supposed to divide the space up as they want. It's, if they change the use, then it can generate, we send them back.
Right.
Yes.
So it increases parking.
yes.
This will eliminate, the one that we personally came today.
Yep.
It's just that 1,000 square feet.
Yep.
And they're gonna have 20 more of those, so
Yeah, I'm all about it. Plus, it saves them money.
Come here for that in the
not
future.
No.
unless I feel that there's a negative impact.
Right. Right, or some kind of variance in the bonus.
Anything that increases any other requirements of the code. We spoke about this 2 months ago. And again, if I'm looking at something and I'm thinking, no, I'm not going to go, I can ask for another business. Will the board consider whether or not you want to see it?
Yes.
It's all inclusive. Looking at the proposed, it's totally
So we're, I make a motion that we tell the town board that we're in favor of it as written. I make a motion that we are in favor of the referral for the proposed amendment, Chapter 43, Article X, as presented, with no additional comments.
Do I have a second? Second.
Mr. Mandel?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None.
Okay, the town board referral for bulk regulations? What's this?
Containers,
Oh, yes.
pods.
So
6-7 months
Yes,
is.
so we have some regulation for them. Right now, there is nothing.
Oh, good.
They have no control over where someone puts that. Where someone else's property. This gives us some.
I like it.
It's good. You need permit to keep the old 6 months. You can't renew the permit for them. So 3 years. So it's-
Okay, so I make a motion that we approve, or that we, I don't want to say approve, but yeah, that the planning board is okay with the bulk regulations as presented.
I second the motion.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None.
And the zoning change that's for the place down off 9W.
Yeah.
Yes, if it's been in existence, you.
So I make a motion that we are okay with the proposed zoning district change for Palisades HNA.
Do I have a second? Second. Mr. Young, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None.
I make a motion for minutes.
Second the motion.
Just those comments that I had, Sharon?
The ones I need, right?
I'll make the motion of both.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Why not?
All
We
in
haven't
favor
approved
of the
minutes.
Okay. Opposed? None.
Just
Okay.
follow the rules.
Yes.
I'd like to make an additional motion that we move back to the.
Yes, I would like to make official motion
Second, that's second motion.
and that,
I don't get to be on TV anymore?
no, and,
I'll bring a video
possibly there
camera.
That's
for
all right.
the near future.
Right, we don't know when the AC will be fixed.
Hopefully never.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, Mr. Mandel, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh,
You have to sign them.
yeah,
You have to sign them.
I just gotta sign. As long as it-
No, we've already
through
been
that?
through this. You can talk to Rob Magrino's predecessor. I was here and, yes. There was.
So it was Andy.
Is this thing off?
Okay, so I just signed.